Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the story of an Ottoman Sultan, who is often overshadowed by his famous father and his conquering son. He was a ruler of peace in an age of war, a builder in an empire of expansion. This is the story of Bayezid II, the 8th Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. When Mehmed the Conqueror, the man who took Constantinople, passed away in 1481, he left behind a vast and powerful empire. But it was also an empire exhausted by decades of relentless warfare. The man who inherited this mighty state was his son, Bayezid II. However, his path to the throne was anything but smooth. It began with a bitter and dangerous civil war. Bayezid's younger brother, Cem Sultan, also claimed the throne. This wasn't just a family squabble. It was a full-blown crisis that threatened to tear the empire apart. Cem had significant support, and the struggle for succession raged, weakening the Ottoman state from within. After being defeated, Cem fled, eventually ending up in Europe, where he became a political pawn. For years, European powers, from the Knights of Rhodes to the Pope himself, used Cem as a threat, a bargaining chip to keep Bayezid and the Ottomans in check. This constant diplomatic pressure defined the early years of Bayezid's reign, forcing him to be cautious on the world stage. After finally securing his throne and neutralizing the threat posed by his brother, Bayezid II charted a course very different from his father's. Where Mehmed the Conqueror was all about aggressive expansion, Bayezid was a consolidator. He understood that the empire needed a moment to breathe, to heal, and to strengthen its foundations. His reign became a period of relative peace and stability. He wasn't against all military action. Campaigns continued, especially against Venice and in Eastern Europe. But his primary focus was internal. He worked on stabilizing the empire's finances, which had been strained by his father's constant wars. He reformed the administration and strengthened the institutions that governed the vast Ottoman lands. This period of calm was exactly what the empire needed to absorb its recent conquests and prepare for the future. Perhaps the most defining and celebrated act of Bayezid II's reign occurred in 1492. In Spain, the Catholic monarchs issued the Alhambra decree, expelling all Sephardic Jews from their lands. It was a moment of immense tragedy and displacement. Faced with this humanitarian crisis, Bayezid II did something remarkable. He not only welcomed the Jewish refugees, but actively sent his navy to rescue them and bring them safely to Ottoman lands. He famously declared, "You venture to call Ferdinand a wise ruler, he who has impoverished his own country and enriched mine." By offering a safe haven, Bayezid II showcased a level of tolerance that was rare for the time. But this wasn't just an act of compassion, it was also an incredibly shrewd strategic move. The new arrivals, doctors, merchants, scholars, and artisans, brought with them invaluable skills, knowledge, and international trade connections. They established the first printing press in Istanbul and contributed immensely to the empire's economy, science, and cultural vibrancy for centuries to come. This single act enriched the multicultural fabric of the Ottoman Empire and stands as a powerful testament to Bayezid's vision. While Bayezid focused on internal stability, he didn't neglect the empire's defenses. He understood the growing importance of sea power in the Mediterranean. Under his rule, the Ottoman navy was significantly expanded and modernized. This naval buildup was crucial for defending Ottoman trade routes, projecting power, and challenging the dominance of naval rivals like Venice. The Ottoman fleet became a formidable force, laying the groundwork for the naval supremacy the empire would enjoy in the following decades, under commanders like Barbarossa Hayreddin Pasha. However, the later years of Bayezid's reign were far from peaceful. New storm clouds were gathering on the horizon. To the east, a new and powerful rival was emerging: the Safavid Empire in Persia. Led by Shah Ismail, the Safavids promoted a different branch of Islam, which created deep ideological and political tensions with the Sunni Ottoman Empire. This rivalry would ignite a century of conflict and become one of the most significant challenges for Bayezid's successors. At the same time, unrest was brewing within Anatolia, the heartland of the empire. partly stirred by Safavid influence. Just as his reign began with a struggle between brothers, it ended with one. As Bayezid grew older, the rivalry among his sons for the succession became increasingly intense and violent. His sons, particularly the ambitious and ruthless Selim and the more measured Ahmed, began to fight for control, plunging the empire back into civil strife. Without the stable platform that Bayezid II built, the spectacular expansion and golden age that followed under his son Selim and grandson Suleiman the Magnificent might never have been possible. He was the wise ruler who knew that true strength isn't always found on the battlefield, but in the quiet work of building a just and prosperous society. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into Ottoman history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.